Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Tobago. I'm Davia Chambers. Today we're at Hibiscus Golf Villas and Apartments. 3 rooms, a main villa, a small villa, a poolside suite and a studio apartment. All here right at this resort for your pleasure. We have a full half hour for you, but let's get started with our headlines. The Industrial Court now has its very own space in Tobago. Partnering with the National Trust of T&T to preserve historical sites on this island, and the Miss Heritage personalities honor Tobago's icons. Stay with us for these stories and more after the break.
The Tobago House of Assembly has a plan, the Comprehensive Economic Development Plan, CEDP, and it is for all of us. Are you ready to benefit from higher levels of development in Tobago and a higher standard of living?
We ready!
The priority areas are branding Tobago, clean, green, safe and serene, business development and entrepreneurship.
Are you ready?
Human capital development.
I'm ready.
Social development and resilience.
I'm ready.
Improved infrastructure and utilities. Enhanced safety and security.
I'm ready.
Environmental sustainability. Tourism.
Are you ready?
Marine resources and forestry.
Are you ready?
Good governance and institutional reform.
The CEDP is ready. Join us and get on board.
Let's travel the island, straight back to my land, even to Thailand.
This is Let's Talk Tobago, rightfully boasting the slogan luxury, elegance, serenity and privacy. The owners of this place, Hibiscus Golf Villas and Apartments, work together to offer you distinct suites or the whole resort, which may be ideal for a wedding party. We turn now to our courts. Tobago only has a High Court and a Magistrates Court, but that's about to change. After 5 decades, the Industrial Court is finally moving into a Tobago space of its own. Omadara Mills has this report.
This lease signing is the first legal and concrete step in the process for the Industrial Court to finally have a place to call home on the island. And that will be at Sandy Hall, previously the home of the Administrative Office of the Division of Finance and Enterprise Development. This will now make it closer to the High Court and the Scarborough Magistrates Court, a move that will make the judicial process easier as it relates to industrial matters.
It's actually a good achievement for the Industrial Court, but it's also a very good achievement for Tobago in that the Industrial Court now has a physical presence on the island, and it also means that most of the matters which would have been held in Trinidad, where we had to always go to Trinidad, those matters could now be dealt with in Tobago. And now, because of the presence of the court, well, at least we hope that it will make it a little easier so that probably we could have more frequent sit-ins.
The Industrial Court deals with a range of employer-employee related complaints, so there'll be benefits for workers in Tobago.
We also deal with matters with respect to the Workmen's Compensation Act as well. Yes, and so it's a very important place as an employee. Yes, and I mean, given that all of us are employees in some form or fashion, we may or may not have a grievance there or may need to seek redress in the Industrial Court at some point. So it's something that we always need to, it's a good, something we always need to consider.
The next step will see the signing of the 199-year lease by the Chief Secretary Orville London and the President of the Industrial Court, Deborah Thomas Felix. But there's more.
The Industrial Court has plans to retrofit that building and make it a building which is specific for the running of our court.
The court is also in talks to share the space with the Environmental Commission. All efforts to make the judicial services more accessible to Tobagonians. I'm Omadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Let's jump right into luxury. This is the main villa with a Mediterranean Caribbean kitchen, perfect for those special meals. Several volunteer organizations have been recognized for giving selflessly over the years to the development of Tobago. They got grants to support their continued contribution.
Volunteerism is no easy task, but those seated here are committed to serving the people of Tobago.
They work continuously to improve the lives of individuals and groups through combined efforts in community programs and services. Recognizing the impact that they've made, they are receiving grants to help with the work that they do. One of the awardees was the Healing with Horses Foundation. This foundation was set up to empower differently abled children and to help them realize their full potential through therapeutic interactions with horses.
We have seen instances where children who were not even able to sit up properly, since they have become riding horses and treating with the horses, being with the horses, grooming and all that, they are now sitting with their back up. So in a way, they are healed.
So how did she feel about the grant?
Very, very grateful and thankful. We will always be grateful for the THA for this grant because, we have been getting, generous assistance for the past 5 years, and it all goes towards, like, for example, paying the teachers that are on right now we have this is the 5th year of the camp that we have at Buku, and we have a whole camp to run.
The Chief Secretary congratulated the organizations and charged them to continue their work as they partner to develop Tobago and its people. The Patience Hill Village Council, Tobago News Children's Fund, Mason Hall Police Youth Club, JJ Fashion House are the other organizations that received checks. A total of $57,500 was distributed. I'm Kissan Brathwaite for Let's Talk Tobago.
Elegance at this resort is the stylishly designed bedrooms decorated with custom-built furnishings. Okay, listen up, preservationists and history lovers. The National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago is on a mission to give historical buildings and sites more prominence on this island. Here's how they intend to do this.
This is what the Annersvale water wheel looks like now after it was damaged by fire some weeks ago. But it was not always so. In centuries gone by, it was an essential part of how people got water for the plantation's operations. Its historical significance makes it one of the sites that the National Trust hopes to preserve. To make this happen, they will collaborate with the THA. But besides listing and preserving heritage sites, the Trust plans to carry out other activities here on the island.
A big part of what we have to do has to be the education work at the schools. So we are looking at working with the Tobago House Assembly in generating education.
Historical structures such as these are on the Trust's agenda, but they also want to focus on the island's natural heritage. During discussions, Professor Sweet says he's impressed with the work that the THA has done already.
We believe that Tobago has undertaken certain unique initiatives in terms of commercializing, if you want to call this, certain aspects of national heritage into the tourism plan. And you all have certain cultural organizations and initiatives that I believe that the rest of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago in the first instance, and in fact some of the things in the rest of the Caribbean could do.
And here's why the work between the Trust and the Assembly will benefit Tobagonians.
The economy of Tobago is heavily based on tourism, and these historical sites are important for tourism-related activities. It's not only about tourism, but it's also about us Tobagonians learning of our heritage, of the history of Tobago, and they put certain things in context in terms of the kind of buildings we have, which century they were built in, the kind of architecture and all of that.
In going forward, the THA will set up a committee to meet with the Trust and discuss various projects that they can do in terms of cataloguing and conserving the island's heritage sites, an initiative that will have both economic and educational benefits for Tobago. I'm Umdara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Tobago has a human capital development policy because you deserve to be the best you can be. More on this after the break. We'll be right back.
Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute invites interested persons to register for its upcoming short course programs for the July-August period. Short courses being offered are Tobago Suites, Food Art, Formal Cake Decorating, Bartending and Mixology. Interested persons can contact the Institute at 660-2196, extension 2004 for further information. Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute, committed to tourism, committed to you.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tobago. I'm Davia Chambers in Mount Irvin, taking in a bit of serenity at Hibiscus Golf Villas and Apartments. Tobagonians are learning how to improve their skill set and competencies, which of course leads to greater personal development. To ensure everyone is on the same page, there was an orientation session. Anika Springer tells us more.
Introspective assessment, organizational skills, and time management. The main characteristics the Department of Advanced Training and Advisory Services, or DATAS, believe these students should have before embarking on tertiary education. So these were the issues addressed during an orientation session themed Managing Expectations.
You are a critical part of an investment involving financial support and effort. The Tobago House of Assembly has stepped up and committed financial resources for your future. There is an expectation of you to give your very best to ensure that the investment bears a successful outcome.
But few would deny the value of guiding hand as they start or continue their tertiary journey, and this a role DATAS also plays, explaining the grant procedures to ensure there are no misconceptions.
Now the process is the committee TAC will sit, look at all those applications, and then a recommendation will go. The final decision is taken by the Executive Council.
But who better to explain exactly what happens than someone who is part of the system, past awardees. Here, they're allowed to share the bad, the good, and the ugly in an effort to prepare the new batch of students for realistic outcomes.
Even though I applied for financial assistance, I had this money to go with me so that I'm comfortable, I can find a good place to live, and I'm not worried about not having to pay my tuition and being kicked out of school, because it's not like St. Augustine or in the Caribbean, in the UK and and in the US. They're very cutthroat. You don't have the tuition, sorry, goodbye. You can leave the school.
It's hoped that experiences like this, along with tutoring from the policymakers at DATAS, set the tone for students interested in the grant program and allow them to manage expectations. I'm Anika Springer for Let's Talk Tobago.
You know, if you had the chance to ask guests about their stay here, you may likely hear about how owner Clinton Samuel takes great pride in providing that home away from home comfort. Students from Naparima College felt a sense of pride when they came to Tobago and met with Tobago's highest office holder. They were taught invaluable lessons in history. But that's not all. Here's Kissam Brathwaite to tell us more.
It's not every day you get to meet with dignitaries, but the Form 2 boys of Naparima College got their chance. They visited Tobago to learn and experience how the Tobago House of Assembly works as part of their social studies syllabus, which includes topics such as tourism and the role and function of government. The boys got an insightful lesson on Tobago's history, going back to the days of King Sugar, the coming together of both islands, to the present-day talks for autonomy from the chief himself. Many of the students also seem to be interested in tourism and the Tobago economy today.
Well, we learn a lot of stuff about Tobago and where it generates most of its revenue from, such as areas like tourism and sport. It was very informative talking to Mr. London. He was a very good speaker, and we learned a lot from him.
I made the assumption before that tourism was a big aspect towards Tobago's financial income, and when I asked Mr. London, he basically assured me that it was, and actually quite bigger than I thought it might have been, and that it had, although it has been experiencing a little drop, he believe that there are certain plans in place that it'll be back to what it should be or what it used to be.
The boys' social studies teacher explained just how valuable the lesson was.
What the boys have learned today would have formed the foundation for what they would have learned about Tobago initially with the annexation in 1889, and then first of all the English acquisition in 1783, and we took them to the Plymouth tombstone. So they're able to find different markers to locate Tobago in their history so that they would see that they're no longer, I don't think that any of them would go away today and think that they are just a Trinidadian.
This form of participatory learning is essential, and all in all, the boys got a greater appreciation for Tobago as bookwork was translated into a real-life experience. I'm Kissam Brathwaite for Let's Talk Tobago.
I've shown you many pools over time. Don't be surprised if one day I actually get in one. I'm joking, of course. Infinity pools such as this one are spectacular. A long battle, an unexpected loss, a mother's message, and a love that carries on. Our next story tells of one woman's fight with cervical cancer and her family's commitment to bring more awareness of this disease to all communities.
This is a part of Tobago's culture that Iona Pear loved, even though she was born in the United States. She embraced her Tobagonian heritage, and that's one of the things her Belgarden-born mother, Joan Pear, wanted people to know about her. Iona was diagnosed with cervical cancer at age 22 and died at age 32 due to radiation complications. As a result of her journey and the family's experiences, her mom is on a mission to educate Tobagonians about the importance of getting tested early.
I'm urging the Tobagonians to please have their pap smear, and that will help. And I will still say an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. And the youths, please encourage their mother, their parents, to have them go to the centers to have the vaccine done.
According to the World Health Organization, cancers are among the leading causes of global deaths, with about 14 million new cases and over 8 million cancer-related deaths in recent years. The number of new cases is expected to rise by about 70% over the next 2 decades. So spreading the word about cancer prevention is vital for islands like Tobago.
I think my story will help the people to understand what it is like as a mother and as a nurse in the medical field to lose a child. And I don't want this to happen to anyone else. So if we catch this on time, we can save a lot of lives, and this is what Iona would have loved.
Mrs. Pierce says she plans to work with the Division of Health and Social Services to educate Tobagonians about the importance of early cancer detection and the treatment options that are available.
My intention is to go to every high school in Tobago, community centers. I'll work in partner with the health department and see what we can do to help the young people.
It's hoped that through Iona's life experience and the cancer awareness campaign her family has started on the island, more Tobagonians will be proactive in getting early screenings and looking after their well-being to prevent cancer. I'm Omodara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
We speak of excellence, service, and humanity when we honor Tobago's icons. We'll tell you more after the break. Stay with us.
The Tobago House of Assembly has a plan, the Comprehensive Economic Development Plan, CEDP, and it is for all of us. Are you ready to benefit from higher levels of development in Tobago and a higher standard of living?
We ready!
The priority areas are branding Tobago, clean, green, safe, and serene. Business development and entrepreneurship.
Are you ready?
Human capital development.
I'm ready.
Social development and resilience.
I'm ready.
Improved infrastructure and utilities. Enhanced safety and security.
I'm ready.
Environmental sustainability. Tourism.
Are you ready?
Marine resources and forestry.
Are you ready?
Good governance and institutional reform.
The CEDP is ready. Join us and get on board.
Let's travel the island, straight back to my land, even to Thailand.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Tobago. Thanks for staying with us. It's quite a trek to get here, but once you arrive, you'll notice the beautiful garden, a variety of flowers, including its namesake hibiscus. Now we're nearing the Tobago Heritage Festival and the much anticipated Miss Heritage Personality 2015. But you don't have to wait for the big night to get a glimpse of the young woman vying to be crowned queen. They displayed their talent and honored a Tobago icon at the Recycled Wear Show. Here are some highlights.
They all stand as a testament to greatness and service, giving of themselves through their own unique talents and abilities. Among them are popular names such as Cynthia Alfred, Annette Alfred, and Gwyneth Gray Brasnell, all of whom have made significant contributions to Tobago's culture over the years. The contestants of the Miss Heritage Personality Show 2015 honored these icons. Here's what this queen had to say about master drummer Dominique Williams.
When asked to describe himself, he merely said, "I'm a simple man." But we all know him by his famous, "Thank you." It is that humility, merged with his beautiful voice, his talented hands for the djembe drum, and his winning personality, which makes him my ideal icon. Or, as I choose to refer to him, the djembe lion with an African hat.
And what greater honor than performing with your icon? Another queen honored the young artist, Corey's Wright.
The colors of our beautiful tropics and the Caribbean is energy at the tip of her paintbrush, where she paints with all the colors of the wind.
The queens also got to showcase pieces of artwork made from recycled material. The Division of Community Development and Culture, through this event, aims to instill a set of core values not only for the queens but Tobagonians, to honor, recognize, and cherish those who've made Tobago what it is today. I'm Kissan Brathwaite for Let's Talk Tobago.
A pop of color is what every room needs. This color is so everything. Let it be known that young people can lead the way to making healthy eating choices. But who won first prize and the tickets to the movies? Here's our update on the I Know My Nutrition competition.
The students of the Patience Hill Government Primary School showed that they know all about eating right, and that makes them champions of the first I Know My Nutrition Inter-School Quiz Bowl held by the School Nutrition Unit. One of the pupils from the winning school, Veronica Brisbane, is happy that their hard work paid off. More than that, she says that the competition helped her understand the importance of proper nutrition.
I think eating healthy is important because we could grow and vegetables help us with everything, our eyesight, and we won't get sick plenty.
The Whim Anglican Primary came second, while Charlottesville Methodist Primary came third. Besides the students, adults see the benefits that the competition has in encouraging children to live healthier lives.
When we look around in what is happening in Tobago in terms of juvenile diabetes and stuff, we believe that a competition like this would help them to understand that eating healthy is important, which would not only assist them in their bodies, but in learning as well. Because if you eat the right food, it would go to your brain, it would assist you in learning and retaining things easier.
The zeal that this competition fostered helps the Division of Education, Youth Affairs and Sport to plan other competitions for the future.
We are what we eat. I want to congratulate you for this program. I want us to expand this program, not just within the schools, but within the communities. I want us to help to change the habits and attitudes of people in Tobago with regards eating right.
It's hoped that the project can help change the eating habits of more Tobagonians for healthier living. I'm Umadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
No matter your palate, breakfast may just be perfect right here on this veranda at the private small villa. So our next story begins with a question for you. What does fun have to do with the fight against substance abuse? It's when 15 agencies in Tobago come together to mark the International Day Against Drug Abuse and provide public awareness in a fun and passionate way.
Fun and passion against substance abuse does not sound like your normal drug fighting event, but 15 agencies, including governmental and non-governmental organizations, came together for a day to mark the fight. The day served to provide public awareness on substance use, drugs and the effect on the body, and find alternative ways to overcome the temptation of drugs through sports and technical vocational skills training.
Substance use is a major issue, not only substance use but substance dependency. We have lots of persons who have no problem at all with consuming large amounts of alcohol to the point of intoxication. We also have the issue of tobacco use and marijuana.
The Division of Health and Social Services believes that education on substance use is critical and continues to run programs to help fight substance abuse.
We have our health center initiative, we have our, we work with the schools, we also have our community-based initiative where we go into the communities just about every month, different communities, just to work with the people there, share information. We do screening to see the level of drug use and those sort of things.
It is hoped that persons will refrain from using drugs, but if they must use, do so responsibly. I'm Kissam Brathwaite for Let's Talk Tobago.
Now it's time for you, our viewers, to have your say. Tobago celebrates its cultural traditions with its Tobago Heritage Festival. This year's theme is Community Treasures Recognition. The annual event is fast approaching, so we took to the streets to ask you, what do you enjoy about the Tobago Heritage Festival? This is what you said.
What I enjoy most about the Heritage Festival is the Miss Heritage personality. I like the Lekito, those Jambi.
The most important part of the heritage is the Queen Show and the old tradition stuff.
The dances, the performance, some of the sights on them.
I enjoy Pembroke Heritage because sometimes I participate and it's very entertaining.
I love the Charleville Village Trek heritage because it's like so full of life. I like Mariah old time wedding.
Mostly I enjoy the Queen Show, especially with my friend going up. I hope she win. Woohoo!
The food. Some of the girls that they have doing the modeling. Yeah, I find the performances are really outstanding.
I like the old time wedding, Mariah, and the Lesquito Superstitious.
And that's how we bring this week's edition of Let's Talk Tobago to a close. Remember, you can send us your comments or queries on anything you've seen in this program to information@tha.gov.tt, or you can even visit us at www.tha.gov.tt. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Davia Chambers, and on behalf of all of us at the Department of Information, have a safe and enjoyable week. As we close, enjoy more of the Miss Heritage personality contestants displaying their recycled way.